How are you doing, Jesse? It can't be easy seeing Dylan like this.
I'm fine. What can you tell me? Is he still... human? Or is he his?
I've taken numerous tissue samples and have tests running as we speak, but from the initial data, he looks healthy. I only see corruption in a superficial way.
What does that mean?
I don't know. This is all new, but if he's like you, maybe Polaris is preventing total Hiss takeover. Or maybe this is just a new form of Hiss. We've already seen how it affects people in different ways.
Dylan told me he let the Hiss in. Does that change anything?
Voluntary conversion. I mean, hypothetically, that could affect the mental state post-corruption, as well as the extent of biological alteration. But again, this is new territory for me. I'll need time.
You won't have it. I'm gonna shut down the slide projector. That's how the Hiss are getting in. Once I close it, this should all be over.
Jesse, we don't know how this works. If you sever their connection to the source, it could cause a terminal chain reaction. Every Hiss-corrupted individual dead.
Better that than what Dylan is now.
I'm shutting it down. This has to end. Whatever happens, happens.
Okay, just let me know how I can help.
Thank you, Emily.
Bring me back anything good?
I've been seeing these Darling presentations all over. Seems like he enjoys the limelight.
So you noticed, huh? When he recruited me out of college, he actually came to visit. He interrupted my physics course by shouting, "Not quite, Professor," and then marching down to the front of the class where he proceeded to berate the very idea of laws of thermodynamics. Hey, he's been a showboat all his life.
Darling visited you in college?
Yeah, he read a paper I'd published, came to recruit me for the Bureau. I accepted and then spent years waiting for access to the confidential research that Darling promised me. And whenever I ask about my access level, he just mumbles that it's temporarily postponed and then changes the subject to the effect of entropy on luck.
I wonder who else Darling hid his work from. Marshall? Trench?
Have you learned anything about Dylan's condition?
Only that he's definitely Hiss, but I guess his chanting made that pretty obvious. You know, interestingly, the words of the Hiss incantation have an average length of 4 letters. The most common word used 7 times is want. The next most common are through and time. It's very interesting, don't you think?
I don't care about the words. What about my brother?
Right. Sorry, I got a little off track. Well, strangely, his tissue samples all look healthy, unlike the other Hiss I've tested.
That's good news. Right?
I wanted to talk to you about the crazy things I can do. My abilities. I get the sense that they're not very usual around here.
Well, usual and unusual aren't really benchmarks at the Bureau, but for some perspective, Director Northmore once used the floppy disk to send a bowling ball 6 yards through the air, and that was considered a huge deal. So compared to that, you are most certainly an outlier.
An outlier. I like the sound of that.
I should get going.